morning one and all. I am Dr. Ramya Swetha, Assistant Professor, Department of Civil Engineering from Institute of Aeronautical Engineering. Today we are going to discuss about these physical and chemical modifications. Already we discussed in our part 1. Now we are understanding some other various techniques what they are involved in this modification, which are for the physical and chemical modification for getting the desired soil properties. In these different types of techniques which are going to involve as a part of these various techniques are involved in these also. So those are, in one of that is the shotcreting and grout gunting technology. So in this, first we understand what are the procedure is involved for these kind of shotcreting and gunting. So in this, the step-by-step procedure we are going to understand, that is surface preparation, nozzle setup, mix proportion, application and curing. These are the various steps which are involved in our shotcreting and gunting. So in this surface preparation, the clean surface to remove loose materials and contaminants. In this, the surface preparation is required for any kind of technique for getting the better understanding about the site, and it's for reducing some disturbances also. So in this, we are choose this is the one step. Now move on to the nozzle setup. So set up the shotcreting or grouting, gunting nozzle and equipment. So we are going to set up that is. And next one is the mix proportion. We are going to prepare the mix proportions by using n different number of materials. How we are mixing these it depends upon the which type of material. Cement, the preparation is different, and sand, the combinations, whether it is mortar, it depends how much water content, or it requires any kind of different special chemicals, or any kind of different chemicals we are choosing, or any admixtures we are adding, from which type of materials, any two materials we are adding. So what is the result for these two, how much content. So the percentage of materials is also how much percentage of materials we are considering. These are all the parameters which are going to involve in this mix proportion. So the how much proportion we are considering for each type of materials. So for these are all we are understanding at the time of where we are considering the soil, how the soil behaves for applying the various different materials too, and adding different materials into the soil, how it behaves, and what we need from this addition of these materials to soil. So these are the parameters which are included in this mix proportion. So whether it is cement, sand, what are the various aggregates, different kinds of minerals we are choosing, or admixtures, mineral admixtures, water, these are all depends upon the what kind of property we require from the soil, and how that based on the type of soil, which material gives that desired property, and in which one gives the optimal. These are all the parameters we are going to understand in this mix proportion. Application, where we are apply the mix using high velocity through the nozzle to the prepared surface area. Now move on to the curing, the applied layer to ensure proper hydration and strength development. It took some time. Some of the materials may take 28 days, some kind of may took 7 days. It depends upon the which type of material, how the environmental is there, where we are injecting these material. So these are all the parameters, and also we give this time. So whenever we applied layer to ensure proper hydration and strengthen the development. This is the step-by-step procedure which involved in these the shotcreting and gunting technology, which we used for the soil modification under physical and chemical properties. So in these, once we consider one application, that is repair of a damaged concrete wall. So we are going to apply this shotcreting technology for this repair and damaged concrete wall. So in this, the mix 1 part of cement, 3 parts of sand, water and accelerator admixture. So it depends which kind of admixture we are going to choose, or the type of admixture is going to choose, is depends upon the requirement of the project. It depends the requirement of the project and also type of the soil. These are the parameters which we are going to consider. So in this, the accelerator admixture and the 1 part of cement, 3 parts of sand, water and accelerator admixture, we are going to add this example. So now the procedure which involve clean the wall surface. First, already we understood repair and damaged concrete wall. So in this, the first step, we are going to clean the wall surface and set up the shotcreting equipment. We are going to set up this shotcreting and prepare the mix and add 1% of accelerated by weight of cement. So how much percentage of admixtures we are going to add, it depends upon the requirement of the and the demand of that particular scenario. In this, prepare the mix and add 1% accelerated by weight of cement. Apply the mix at pressure of 1000 and cure the applied layer for 7 days. So the curing period, it depends. So in this, the clean the wall, setup of the shotcreting equipment, prepare the mix and add 1% accelerator, apply the mix at some pressure and cure the applied layer for 7 days. These are the procedure which we are going to follow for this. Now in this, we are move on to the modification at depth by grouting, some other method. In this, drilling. So these are the steps which we are involved in practical application also. So these are the steps involved. Now we follow those steps. Finally, this is finally, and we are going to check. After completion of that, we are going to check whether it is withstand or not, how much damage control is controlled. These are the parameters we are going to understand. Just for understanding purpose, these are steps which are going to involved in this application. In this modification at depth by grouting, in this step-by-step procedure, drilling, grout mix preparation, injection, monitoring and curing. These are the steps which are involved in the modification at depth by grouting. The name itself tells. So, whenever the modification at depth using this grouting technique. Grouting is the technique. So, in this, the first step we are going to drill holes at required depth and spacing. It depends upon the required, what are the desired properties, soil type, outcome. So, like this, we are going to understand this spacing, required depth and spacing. So, drill holes at the required depth and spacing. Now, next move on to the grout mix preparation. So, prepare the grout mix, cementitious or chemical. Again, it depends upon the scenario where we are going to consider based on the problem statement. We are going to choose these cementitious or chemical. So, we are going to prepare the grout mix. After once the mix preparation is done, we are going to inject the grout under pressure into the drilled holes. So, in this the drilling process and injection, the grout is in also it depends upon the various methods. According to the requirement, we are going to choose the method, choose the method of the installation process. In this, the next one is monitoring. So, we are going to monitor the grout flow and pressure to ensure uniform distribution. So in this curing, allow the grout to cure and gain the strength. So once we done this and the grout and we are going to cure, it helps us to get the gain strength, or it helps to the reach the required strength. So in this, according to the step-by-step procedure, modification depth by grouting, various practical examples are involved, that is, stabilize loose soil at depth of 5 meters because it is depth. At depth, grouting by grouting. Modification at depth by grouting. So here, loose soil at depth at 5 meters. The grout mix, it depends. We are choose here once understanding this cement, water and another admixture we are going to add. In this, the procedure, drill holes 5 meter deep at every meter intervals. It depends where the drill holes intervals is as per the requirement of the outcome. What we required outcome. That is stabilization. So according to that, we are prepare grout mix, 1 part of cement, 0.5 part of that admixture, 2 parts of water. We are injecting the grout at 2 bar pressure. Monitor until the grout refusal. Allow curing for 28 days for getting the stabilization under the loose soil type. Next, move on to the crack grouting. In this step-by-step procedure, what kind of steps are involved? What procedure we are going to follow for any kind of example? Whether in any kind of problem statement, according to the problem statement, we are choosing the materials, we are choosing the equipment, we are choosing the material. It depends, but the procedure is same as. So how many number of days, the curing is same, mixed proportion is there, surface cleaning is there, injection is there, but it depends upon the practical issue, it depends upon the problem statement, we are choosing the method for grout mix prepare. We choose the materials, we choose the injection equipment and curing number of days, how many days curing is required for getting the required desired property. These are all we understand based on the practical issue or problem statement. Now here for grouting, crack identification, surface cleaning, grout mix preparation, injection, curing. These are all the step-by-step procedure which we follow for this crack grouting. So in this crack identification, we are identify and marks the cracks to be grouted. So first we are identify properly and exactly mark the cracks to be grouted where we are going to grout. Surface cleaning, clean the crack surfaces. Prepare the grout mix, epoxy or cementitious we are going to use. So these materials are choice of which type of material we are choose. It depends upon the problem statement. Now, grout mix preparation. Prepare the grout mix, we prepare. Now, injection. So, inject the grout into the cracks under lower pressure. So, under lower pressure, how much pressure it is depends upon again the problem statement. Curing. Allow the grout to cure and bond with the crack surfaces. So, how much time it requires for bond with the crack and cure for curing and bond with the crack surfaces. These are the steps which are involved in this crack grouting. So, repair a structural crack in concrete beam. So, in generally we observe cracks in concrete beam, in very old structures, not in general. In old structures we are going to observe. Now, the epoxy resin is the one of the grout mix we are choose as per the requirement and how the crack size. It depends upon the crack size, crack identification, mark the cracks. So, the crack dimensions, according to that, we are going to choose the grout mix. Now, clean the crack, prepare the mix, epoxy resin mix, inject epoxy into the crack using a lower pressure gun, allow curing for 24 hours. This is the step-by-step procedure for understanding the problem. Now, compaction grouting. Crack grouting, this is compaction grouting. In this compaction grouting, drilling, grout mix preparation, injection, monitoring are the step-by-step procedure which are involved for the compaction grouting. Drill injection points to be desired depth. It depends upon the how much depth. And we are preparing a stiff grout mix. So for compaction, the stiffness of the grout mix is required. For that, what kind of materials are giving the advantage? So we are choose according to that. So injecting the grout at lower pressure to displace and compact the surrounding soil. So here displace and the compact the surrounding soil also included in this compaction grouting. Now monitoring. Monitor the injection pressure and volume. How much pressure and volume we are going to inject, that monitoring is also plays a role in compaction grouting. So in practical, increase the bearing capacity of the soil. So in this grout mix, sand, cement, water, the mix design, we are going to design mix. Our mix design is using this material, cement, sand, water, and this ratio is also mentioned. Drill holes to 10 meters depth. Inject the grout at 1 bar pressure. Monitoring until the desired compaction is achieved. These are the parameters which are going to involved in this compaction grouting. Now, thermal modification. In this thermal modification, freeze pipe installation, coolant circulation, monitoring, excavation are the various steps involved in the thermal modification, that is ground freezing. So in this ground freezing, thermal modification, heating the soil for getting the dry properties. So that is also there. Here we are confined to the ground freezing. So install freeze pipes into the ground, circulate coolant through the pipes to freeze the soil, monitor the temperature and freezing process, excavate the frozen ground as needed. So these are the steps involved in this thermal modification. In this, stabilize soil for tunnel excavation. So that is the one of the practical issue. So we follow the install freeze ground freezing technique for this stabilization of soil for tunnel excavation. Install freeze pipes in a circular pattern around the tunnel path. Now circulate drain coolant at minus 120 degrees. Monitor until soil temperature reaches minus 10 degrees C. Begin excavation. So we follow the same as for our practical problems also. In this grout freezing, we are going to understand all these steps and also the construction. One more practical example, create a temporary frozen soil barrier for underground construction. Install freeze pipes in a grid pattern around the site. So first, any kind, we are going to choose some pattern according to the problem statement. We are going to choose the pattern for installing the freezing pipes. Choose the pattern. Now, circulate minus at 130 degrees. And how much percentage we are going to choose the temperature is also important in this ground freezing. So, it is minus 10 degrees, began construction within the frozen zone. So, this is also different kinds of techniques we are going to choose. So, these are the some of the physical and chemical modifications which we are going to understand in our physical and chemical modifications for getting the desired properties, soil properties for construction work, required project works. Thank you. We will see in our next class.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.